Tyler Reddick's son had a chunk of ice. You can see that Tyler Reddick's son's shirt is completely saturated. And Michael Jordan trying to help a little kid out. Let me get those chunks of ice out of your back.
It initially looks shocking, and I think there's a reasonable explanation for it.
Yep.
It looks like he's trying to get stuff out of his shirt and pants.
I think that's exactly.
It's shocking the first time you see it.
It
God.
looked shocking. Please do your due diligence and realize that it was chunks of ice that were in the kid's back area by his waistline of his shorts. And Michael Jordan was not grabbing his ass. He was grabbing the cubes of ice to try to break them up and make them fall down. And they fell down on his legs, and he wiped them off his legs. None of us are doing it just because we all love Michael Jordan, which we all do.
He wasn't in the Epstein files?
No, he was not.
I mean,
he was not.
This was a thing. I mean, we would probably know about it.
All right. So we got some serious news out here that I got to talk about. And it relates to a recent clip that's come about showing Jordan and a young boy. And people are running, 1,000 miles. They're running 1,000 miles per hour with this clip. I saw it this morning. Not this morning, last morning. I was just, opening up Instagram. I was walking out the door, and this dude was on Instagram talking about, oh, look at Jordan, cancel Jordan. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he's like showing the video. Well, he's standing, it's one of those videos where, he's showing the video. He's standing in the video while, he's standing there while, the video is playing in the background, basically, and pointing at, Jordan and showing Jordan like, oh, he's touching the kid. He's on this. He's trying to say that, basically trying to say Jordan was on that type of time, and that, y'all should stop supporting Jordan and don't buy no more Jordans because, this is how Jordan gets down. You look at him touching a little boy, in plain sight. And when I first saw the video, I already knew that this dude was a fucking idiot. I'm like, do y'all know what it looks like for somebody to touch somebody inappropriately? Who tugs at somebody's shirt to grope somebody? Like, what the fuck is, like, y'all don't have no fucking common sense. People that's making these accusations. You know what I'm saying? It's certain types of slow people that make these accusations. One is people that's all obsessed with all this Epstein stuff, and they're just waiting for any celebrity, any famous person to throw allegations on. So that they're in that type of clout chasing type of thing. They just want to call any celebrity, Epstein. Oh, they're doing it's another Epstein. Was he on the Epstein files? Was he Epstein? So you got that type of person. That type of they think they're like onto something. And then you got the next type. People who just live online. They got more of a digital print than significance in real life. They don't have no real friends. They don't have nothing really going on for themselves. And they just live for clickbait online. You know what I'm saying? Drama online. They go from one scenario to the next. You know what I'm saying? They argue for shit that goes on with celebrities. Like it's a real life passion for them. You know what I'm saying? Like if Cam Newton argues with some celebrity on his podcast, they arguing about it like it's really affecting their life. You know what I'm saying? These is those types of people that now see this and they're gonna argue about it like, you know what I'm saying? They're just gonna believe whatever narrative they see. The people posting it are telling them. They're just gonna believe that and run with that. And, oh man, he's out here touching kids. Jordan is on that type of time. He likes to. We need to cancel him and da 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 da. This was that person. They can't. These people like this can't think for themselves. Even if you show them the situation, you break it down. They need somebody to tell them how to think. These are the types of people that need somebody to tell them how to think. They need somebody to walk them and show them how their opinions need to be. And we have a lot of people like that in the world. You know what I'm saying? Especially with social media now, there's so many people that talk the same way and don't have no flavor of their own. They don't have no identity of their own. They just have whatever the current thing is. So they jump from opinion to opinion based on whatever's cool. They don't have no real opinion on it on anything. So that this is that type of person. You know what I'm saying? And then of course you have the weirdo, LeBron fans that's always trying to make some accusations on everybody. Even though LeBron's got his own situation, he's got some stuff that a good amount of skeletons that what I'm saying, like we could get into. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about Cappy Poindexter because she talked about LeBron in the past, trying to do some some she had some pretty serious allegations about LeBron, and I didn't talk about it because you don't know if that's real or not. But she seemed pretty distraught in the video. She didn't seem like she was playing around, but she was accusing of LeBron of trying to do something to her. So yeah, you got the LeBron fan type, fanatic type that they want to tear down any other NBA player. They've been doing that to Kobe. They've gone after other players, and they've been trying to go after Jordan. With all types of petty little stuff, calling him a gambler and all this other type of stuff. So now they're gonna unfortunately try to use this as some type of gotcha. That's what they're gonna do. So you have that type, and then you just have just bum ass niggas, man, that smoke weed all day. You know what I'm saying? That you know what I'm saying? Just bum ass niggas that just don't really care, respect other people's legacies, and want to tear somebody down, and love to see people of importance who worked hard in life fall down to their level. You know what I'm saying? Have their reputations tarnished. Some people that get off on that, they see celebrities get torn down, or just people that's like people that you've seen in the public, and have a high reputation. They live to see them get torn down. Some people want to see all these guys get torn down, even with nonsense allegations. They don't care. They'll follow anything. It could be some crazy stuff. Oh, Obama was messing around with I don't know, Bad Baby or something. Like they'll believe it. Like if somebody if some random person comes out and says it, they'll believe, and they'll fucking go along with it. So that there's that type of person. And then oh yeah, this is just the warped mind having people. You know what I'm saying? People just have like dirty minds. You know what I'm saying? You can have like there's so many times online where people or just celebrities will have photos, or just there'll be photos on social media, like, or there'll be dads hugging their daughters and stuff like that, and people will get on social media and take it a whole other way. They'll make a whole other thing about it, and that's not a reflection of the parents or whatever, but that's a reflection of you. Your mind is there. Your mind is on filth. You know what I'm saying? You need to figure out why your mind is in the gutter all the time like that. And you might be the person who needs to be watched. Because if your mind goes there, you know what I'm saying? Who knows what you're going to do? If there's a kid around that you can take advantage of. We don't know what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? You need to be the one watched. So yeah, that's just what I have to say about those types of people. And and now to explain the situation again. So basically, this kid, to had there was the NASCAR race that I believe Jordan's driver won. Jordan's driver won. They're of course celebrating it. Champagne's everywhere, ice is everywhere. Apparently, the kid gets covered in champagne and ice. It's going down his back. This is a young kid too, because it would be weird. It would be weird if this kid was like over 7, but this is a young kid. And this is not also it would be weird if Jordan didn't know this kid and this was just like his first day, meeting this kid, and he just decided to do that. But he knows the kid and he knows the father. Like I believe the father might be the driver or the or manager, something like that. He's worked with him for years. So this is not some like random kid that he just met, or what I'm saying, yeah, like he just decided to do that like on a whim. Like no, he's familiar with this kid. He's picked this kid. They have photos of him picking this kid up uh, in years past, a few years ago when they had some other event. So he's been around this kid. He's familiar with this kid. This is not some random kid that he just decided, yo, I'm just gonna, what I'm saying, tug at the back of his shirt and scratch his leg. So we have to get that out the way because you have people saying that this is random. This is just some random kid he decided to do that to. No, and some people saying that he's like grabbing the kid's butt, and when there must be a lot of people that need to get their eyes checked because he's clearly you can clearly see him pulling the back of the kid's shirt. You can clearly see it. The shirt is moving, clearly grabbing the back of the shirt. That's not groping somebody. That's not putting, he's not putting his hand on this kid's butt. He is grabbing the shirt, which is a big difference from grabbing the kid's butt. Shirt, butt, not the same thing. The shirt and the butt are two separate things. Okay? And then he scratches the kid's leg because apparently the kid was itchy. But I'd say in this climate, don't even do that. I would not recommend doing that because people, as you can see, will take it, will run a whole nother direction and create a narrative that is not there and try to make you seem to be some type of, decrepit, filthy type of person that that you're not. You know what I'm saying? There was no there was no malice that I saw in what he did. He wasn't like sneaking up to the kid, you know what I'm saying, and looking at around to see if anybody was looking. He wasn't like secretly copying every single time I saw the tug, he was tugging at the shirt. He wasn't grabbing the kid's butt, and yet people taking that few second clip and and creating a whole narrative, making him out to seem like some type of weirdo out of out of this situation. I'm like, man, like this is where we're at with it. Like y'all are really that fucking strange. Like that y'all are really also that slow. Like y'all are really that slow. Y'all are really willing to just believe anything, which is why we live in the world we live in now. You know what I'm saying? Like where, because I was wondering, like, man, like how are these people able to run the world the way they do? And it's like, oh, the majority of y'all are fucking stupid, bro. The majority of y'all are stupid, and y'all just believe anything. There's so many things I could talk about that y'all just go for anything. Certain things that I've seen in the last 5, 6 years that humanity is just falling for, and I'm like, wow. I thought people were smarter than that. I thought people were smarter than that. But y'all are not, man. I mean, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I believe that uh, George Carlin was right, man, when he was talking about how stupid people were and how you know, people just believe anything. Or most people just fall over, the first, whenever there's any type of conflict or whatever, most people just fall over and just take it, and let the people in power just run amok. That's reality. Like he wasn't over exaggerating. He wasn't being bitter. He wasn't some, you know, salty old man. Like he was really like breaking it down before like way before any of us had to figure it out. He had the majority of humans figure it out, and why things are the way they are. Because the majority of people, like he said, are stupid and go along with anything and will believe anything and stand for nothing and go along with any trends. That's what you got out here. So now you got people accusing him of the unthinkable and of being the unthinkable, and uh, I'm just I'm just caught aback about how stupid people are. We got stupid people running around everywhere, and this is why I feel like social media is supposed to be limited to like certain, like you should have to fill out something every now and then, like something that shows your mental state before you even come online, because not everybody's mentally acute enough to be on social media. Should be like a responsibility. You shouldn't have no kids. It should be like levels to the internet. You shouldn't be able to just get on the internet and just wild out and all that. This should be like a certain level. Like kids have a certain type of internet. Teenagers have a certain type of internet. You know what I'm saying? Adults, you got to see where you're at mentally to get to the levels of the internet. You know what I'm saying? Are you capable of having a real adult conversation, or are you just like a big baby? Or are you like a dramatic man child, woman child, who just wants to gossip and create negativity? You want that? You get a certain type of internet. That's how the internet should have been created. Because some of y'all not you're not. This is internet. Being on the internet is a serious responsibility. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be on the internet, and the internet should not be built to where people can just come on and say bullshit and spread negativity. You should be on there. People should be responsible on the internet with the things that they say and that they do. And that's not how it is. Anybody can just get on here, make some type of crazy claim, you know, put allegations on people and spread all types of nonsense, and boom, they can get away with it. They can be hiding. They can live in bumfuck. Who gives a damn? And they can talk a bunch of shit and get away with it. We're back before social media. To do that, you have to really talk shit in person. And talking like that, of course, is gonna get you in some bad shit. And you're gonna run into a lot of people who are not playing with you if you act like that. But now you can be a coward and hide on the internet and say a bunch of stupid shit and get attention, whether good or bad, brought on you. So now this just breeds a culture of people who just want to do that. Now you have a bunch of cloud chasers and people who say stupid things out loud and look to record anything to get some attention to themselves. So a lot of this is what's ruining society. You have people running around making all types of claims, saying crazy stuff to get attention, and I'm just not with it. I'm staying true to myself, staying true to the game. I don't believe in just what I'm saying, just saying disgusting things, inflammatory things about people without really having probable cause. And to pull this in, I don't believe that this is anything inappropriate. I don't believe that he's having this is some type of grooming type of thing. It's not some type of what I'm saying, Epstein type behavior. This isn't some type of predatory type. He did not have a predatory type intent on getting the ice out of that boy's back. All right. So, what I'm saying, like, some of y'all's minds are always in the gutter, and y'all have, a real You got real problems. You know what I'm saying? You're on social media too much. You need to log off. You need to spend some time away from your phone, and you need to get some real friends, real fresh air. Real relationships with real people. You know what I'm saying? And you need to heal, man, because it's not good for you to be out here constantly in negativity. When you need to build something in real life, not just online, real life, so that you understand what it's like to be somebody worth it down, and understand what it takes to get somewhere in life. So you're not just some bitter loser online, some bitter loser online trying to tear other people down. Because that's what you got. You got a bunch of bitter people, especially like older people, olderish people online, getting out here constantly spreading allegations and putting dirt on people, and making unsubstantiated claims on people. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not it. That's whack. And we got to start doing that. We got to stop giving these types of people attention. And we gotta make sure we got the right perspective when we look on things, and not we don't just run with things as soon as we see something. Not everything is. You don't have to see everything in a dirty way, or try to make something malicious out of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah. So y'all gotta chill. That's my take on this thing. Like I said, I don't believe Jordan had any type of weird intent on doing that. And I think a lot of people are really stupid, and they don't even know what a groping somebody would look like. All right, y'all are just out here, just looking to grab anything and make something out of any type of thing. And I know some of y'all are gonna be dick riders, and you're just gonna go and keep saying the same goofy thing over and over again. Because y'all are like middle school kids who never grew up. Y'all just gonna keep repeating it like the little bronze sexuals y'all are. And this is your little game. This is your little get back, because people don't recognize your guy and take him seriously. Um, some of y'all just, like I said, you want to tear down somebody else and run with the insane narrative, not understanding the damage that it does. So yeah, that's what I got.